Welcome to Making with Mark. In this video, we'll finish this droid that I started some time ago. We'll add some additional features and details, and then finish it up with a nice paint job and some weathering and distressing. Let's get started. I made this robot from some scrap parts from my junk bins. I used some circuit boards, some old magic markers and dry erase markers, and several other little bits and pieces, including recycled items. If you'd like to learn more about how I built this robot, I'll put a link at the end of this video for another similar robot build that I just completed. Before doing any additional work to the robot, I went ahead and added a coat of primer. And then I topped that coat of primer with a couple of coats of this chalky finish Anvil Gray spray paint. This is a Krylon brand, and these chalky finishes are really cool. Now, although I'm very happy with the color, I want to do a few more additions to this robot before we call it done. So I took some measurements of the chest area, then I grabbed some sheet styrene and just started cutting out a few chest pieces. This was some trial and error to figure out exactly what I wanted, but after a few minutes, I found something that I thought worked really well. And it was about this time I really started to feel like I was making a robot t-shirt or something. After some trial and error, a little bit of sanding and cutting, I was able to shape up a chest piece that I was really happy with. Used the heat gun to get the plastic warm enough to where I could put a slight bend in it. And then I glued it in place. I reinforced the glue seams with some baking powder. And then I decided to make this curved piece at the bottom just for some added detail. And then I opened up the neckline a little bit with the grinding wheel. Now I cut some strips for some shoulder straps. So I just glued these onto each of those beveled portions of the shoulder and then wrapped it around to the front of the chest piece. And there I made some marks and just cut it basically to create sort of a band along the top of that opening. Then I used my sanding wheel again just to sort of refine the shape of those straps. And I had this zip tie, so I cut some pieces of the zip tie and I built up the straps with it, and then I used the leftover piece of the zip tie for this mouthpiece. I thought it turned out really well. Next, I added some eyes. These are just necklace beads and some other little details. And now it's time to paint. So I started off with some pewter gray. This is just an acrylic paint. Worked my way around the chest piece and the straps. Basically all of the new pieces of styrene that you see here in white, went ahead and covered those with gray. And then I moved on to the arms and just started working my way around. You can see I've got a good bit of the gray scattered throughout the robot. Then I went in, painted the fingers black. And I also went ahead and painted some of these little hoses and wires black. Next, I used some chrome spray paint and just brushed it on. I picked some highlighted areas. You can see the top of the hands and then some pieces on the legs. And also painted the eyepiece chrome. Then I went in with a sort of a blend, a wash of brown and black paint. Just dabbed that on and then blotted it back off. Here I found this rose gold metallic paint that I also brushed on. I thought that looked really good with these other colors. Some final dry brushing with some of that chrome paint just to set off some of the edges. And we're pretty much finished. Our little robot has come a long way in a short period of time, and I couldn't be happier with the way he turned out. If you enjoyed this video, check out these other 2 robot builds that I think you'll also enjoy.